here in Indiana, and I have Steve Blass on the line where it's much warmer. Right, Steve?
Jack, it is much warmer down here. We got a little bit of a drizzle. We have had such a good run of weather. I know there's no sympathy, so hang in there. My son in Connecticut's got it worse than you do right now,
yes.
to be honest.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, this will be second week in a row for that.
Yeah, they're getting pounded again. But it's good down here, and the boys are just coming off an off day, which they always look forward to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of these guys in the infield. Some of these young guys are really looking pretty good. We talked about Moran before, the third baseman, and Greg and I talked about Kevin Kramer, who's trying to make his way into second base. If he should happen to make this team, and they want to go youth, do you see Josh Harrison going elsewhere?
If they want to go in that direction, and anything's possible these days, as we know. But they like Newman a lot, and I don't think there would be any lack of interest for Josh Harrison. But I want to see Josh Harrison stay here because I like watching him play.
Sure.
With his style. So. To be determined, but you look around the infield. Josh Bell certainly is a youngster that came out of the woodwork last year, and you hope he builds on that. And Josh at second, and Jordy Mercer at short. So I think we've got a pretty solid infield as we look now with Moran coming over from Houston. And when you bring up his name, the early part of spring training, I think the focus has been looking at Dickerson, who we got, and also Moran. Two critical positions, to be quite honest, third base and left field. So you want to see how they're, kind of folding themselves into the organization and seeing what their tendencies are and that sort of thing. And so far, early in the spring, we've been watching that, and nothing that would disturb us at all as they go finding their way in a new organization here in Pittsburgh. So we're keeping an eye on that. And every once in a while, Jack, I'd like to give you a name of a person of interest,
sure.
Speaking of new guys. And a young man by the name of Michael Feliz we got in that Houston trade. The one thing that jumped out at me, in 48 innings, he had 70 strikeouts. That's pretty darn impressive. So you watch what the future holds for him in the Pirate bullpen coordination. And also, excuse me, you look at Joe Musgrove, who we feel could be a fifth starter. We haven't seen much of him at all, really. I haven't seen him at all this spring. And I think they're kind of being a little careful with him in that he went down the road and did a lot of pitching late last year with the Houston run for the World Series championship. So nothing to be disturbed about. And every once in a while in those situations, a guy will stay in Florida because with the 3 off days early in the season, you might only need 4 starters for a period of time. So nothing to be disturbed about there as we kind of head into the meat part of spring training games.
I understand you have a split squad going today, and Glasnow is going to go in one of those games.
Yeah.
And how about some of the other guys that you might see today?
Well, I don't know the rest of the roster because I saw Glasnow's name, and every time he goes out there, everybody pays very close attention because if he figures it out, Jack, and we've been talking about this for a lot of years, granted, but if he all of a sudden gets it, that could be a game changer for the Pittsburgh Pirates. That really, really could be. We talk about him doing that. We talk about another guy, Austin Meadows. If he stays healthy, that could be a game changer. Probably not right away, but down the road. So a couple of guys that are lurking, if you will. Another factor that I'm looking at is the Cervelli situation because Francisco's had a history of a lot of injuries. I'm wondering if the Pirates are going to not use him a lot in the spring training games, although he played 7 innings a couple of days ago against the Braves. But I think you might see a lot of Diaz and Stallings just to let Francisco kind of ease through spring training. They know what he can do, so I don't think they need to play him or not. And they might do that just to make sure they hedge their bet of trying to keep him more healthy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, enjoy the day today. You had your day off yesterday, so back to work today. All right.
Yeah. As it is, Jack, you and I know watching baseball games is a lot of fun. I don't know if you can call it work, but I look forward to it, and I'll look forward to catching up again on Friday.
All right. Hey, thanks, Steve. Have a good day.
Take care.
Steve Blass.